I'd love to know when you are working at starting to sell your product or thinking about starting to sell product, people start using product, when you start charging customers, what's your thoughts in terms of how the best way is to start pricing so that you don't lock yourself into what may be a successful or unsuccessful approach and timing of going after them?
Well, I've had several times entrepreneurs tell me, why didn't we start charging sooner? I've never had someone say, oh, we shouldn't have started charging. So in general, I think, particularly in Silicon Valley, there's too much of a bias towards, oh, grow, 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 don't charge. And if you have a product that's already having some adoption where customers are showing they're interested, maybe you're coming out of beta after initial testing, and there's a value proposition, I think it's best to charge sooner rather than later. And the other thing that entrepreneurs sometimes forget is that charging can also help you grow, because often you can bring in partners to whom you can share some of that revenue. But how do you do a revenue share for a product that you're not charging for? You can't. So often entrepreneurs say, oh, I don't want to stop my growth, and they're hurting themselves by not putting the revenue. And the reality is these days, especially for an online business, you can iterate. I know plenty of companies that do A/B testing. They try one price, another price, high, low, and over time refine it, and you don't need to worry too much, I don't think, at the beginning about hitting it right from the start.
So we started charging our clients when they stopped doing the work for us and we started doing the work for them. So in essence, when we first started our software, it worked well, but it didn't work perfectly. There were reports that didn't work out well, there was bugs, there was all sorts of issues, and the clients were so incredible at letting us do that and iterate and improve the product. But then the product became very stable, and then we'd serve them. And so I think when we started to really have that service model, we really started to say, okay, it's time to ramp up the margin, to grow the business, and really focus on that.
So I'm also a big believer in charging early as possible, but only at the point when you can be confident that whatever promise you're making in the product you can keep. So, I've been working on a product for 8 months now. We're about to start charging our customers, and I also had the fear about, what if I set the price now and it's too low, and how do I adjust that in the future? How do I test different pricing? And the conclusion I came to is that it's okay if you set the expectation up front. I think the value that we're looking to deliver is probably twice what we're able to deliver now. And I'm communicating with my customers now and saying, look, the price is going to be this now, but it's subject to change. And you always have the option to grandfather in some of the early customers. If you choose to, set one price and you decide to go to something else later, or if you choose later you decide the price is less, giving those early customers the price break, they're going to be happy with either being grandfathered in or with that price break. So I wouldn't be too scared about getting the price right the first time.